All right, in today's video, we're going to be replacing the stock factory plastic rear bumper on the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon JL model with a aftermarket steel Smittybilt product. And, you know, supposedly it should be a straightforward bolt-on, but you know how that goes sometimes. It's a little cold, as you might be able to tell from my breath. I'm in the garage. I'm going to see, supposedly this is a 1 to 2 hour project, so we're going to see how that works out. And like I said, it's a direct bolt-on situation. Now, admittedly, I would have been doing this anyways, but I did have a sort of a minor little fender bender with the Jeep. So the plastic bumper has been slightly damaged a little bit. There's not really a lot of damage on the rear here. There's a little crink in the metal rear door as well. I don't know if that's something I'm going to need to address or not. I'm going to take the tire off in order to make this project a little easier, and then start taking off the plastic bumper. So let's get to it. Not really sure how this works, but the backup camera is in the center of the tire, so I don't know if I gotta undo that or not, but we're gonna find out. There's 2 bolts there. They're kind of loose anyways here, but this is not as heavy as a Unimog tire. And there she goes. Okay, not that heavy, but a little heavy. So, I don't know, you can't really see on the camera here, but it's a little bit of dent where this the tire hit. But I think that I not really have to address that, but we'll see. It's I bought the Jeep with a rough country, I'm going to call it a tire mounting upgrade on the door here. So I didn't realize that was actually there. So I want to check that out a little bit too. Alright, so we're underneath here, and of course it's difficult to tell exactly what comes off. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the new steel bumper box here and see what that looks like, because it might give me an idea how it mounts. If I turn the camera around here, I don't know if you can see that, but well, there's the Smittybilt box right here with all its caution tape on here. 70 says heavy package over 70 pounds. So let's get that open and see what it looks like. Well, the first couple things are answered. One, got an integrated class 3 receiver on it, so obviously that means I've got to take the one that's on the vehicle off in addition to the bumper. So it's a slightly bigger project underneath there than I thought. I don't know if you can see this, but that is warm here with our big buddy heater. Alright, now it looks like it's time to figure out how the old bumper comes off. Alright, it's actually 3 boxes, hardware boxes that come with this Smittybilt bumper here. And the first box I just opened, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It looks like it's a relocation pieces for a license plate. There's the old license plate on the mounted on the plastic bumper on the Jeep. So that's nice. I didn't even know that that was really part of this, so that's cool. And then this box right here looks like it is included rear LED lights that go in the bumper. So also didn't really know that that was included, so that's positive. And then we've got this third box, which I'm kind of hoping that has some directions in it. Right now, I don't have that. Let's see what hardware is in this box. Light mount, heavy duty bolts, more bolts, brackets. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks like instructions right now. So that is something that we gotta figure out here. All right, step one complete on taking the old bumper off. I'm gonna call them the outriggers on the sides. This metal piece right here mounted to the frame, held up. This tire, plastic tire piece. So now the edges of both sides of the bumper are not attached to the frame anymore. So it looks to me like the next step is to tackle the bolts in the middle holding the bumper on. The good news is that because the Jeep is only like a month and a half old, the bolts come out really easy. Nothing's seized anywhere, so that's the good part. So we get to work on the middle here and see what happens next. All right. That was actually fairly straightforward. As you can see, move right over here, the rear bumper is no longer on the plastic factory rear bumper. It is right there on the floor. The biggest challenge to the thing, to be honest with you, getting it off, was getting to a couple of the frame bolts, just the accessibility to them. And for some reason in Jeep's infinite wisdom, they decided to make at least 4 different bolt sizes. So, you know, hunting around for the sockets probably took most of the time there. So all in all, it was about, I would say, a 35-40 minute project to get the bumper off. And now I have to still take the 4 large bolts holding the factory hitch. Have to come off now because that has to be removed. I believe the new bumper mounts to those 4 bolts in the middle and 2 chassis bolts going through these outriggers on the side. So gonna get these off and then move to the next step. All right, let's see. Looks like a 21 millimeter down here. Nope, of course not. I don't know what size that is. It's not smaller than that somehow. Let's try this one. There you go. That would be 18 millimeter somehow. Let's see how these look to be about as tight as they come. And it's turning. And there's 4 of these. You go right through this whole rear outrigger into this plate that's holding on the receiver hitch. Now the interesting part here is it doesn't seem like there's going to be enough clearance to get this bolt out, but I don't know. I think my ratchet keeps hitting the muffler, and I think it's switching which direction it's going. Yep. So we're loosening it and we're tightening it. That's not going to work so good, is it? most of these you can use your fingers. So new. That's making this job a whole lot nicer than if they were all seized up and frozen. Okay. Rear hitch is off. Now the question is can that stay on? I don't know. I'm not sure about that yet. Try to hand fit the bumper on here now, just to see if anything lines up at all. It's really heavy, but I'm gonna try to do that anyways. Looks like that's gonna sit sort of like that. I don't know if anything's holding this, right? No, it's not going anywhere. That's a good sign. Like there's 4 bolts there, and then outrigger. Yeah, you have to go up quite a bit. That's what I figured. Not sure how I'm gonna do this by myself. I'm gonna find out. All right, so that kind of worked. Let's sit on this box here for a little bit. And I just need to get one bolt in here somehow, which, in theory should be easy, but nothing's ever easy. I think I got one in there. Perfect. All right, we've got bolts on both sides now. Okay. Whew. All right, so let's take a look at this. That is what she's going to look like, roughly. All right, the rear bumper is now fastened and on. So basically, it took 2 bolts on each side to the outriggers and 4 in the middle. So total of 8 bolts, and it's on. It's secure. It's not moving. I am now putting in the brackets, these things right here, for the rear lights. They're kind of auxiliary off-road lights to mount inside under here. It's kind of, actually it's a neat design. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. My mistake, so for those of you that are going to do this project, these probably with the light should have been put on before the bumper was mounted, because it's very difficult to get the tool in to tighten the nuts once this bumper's in place. So I recommend doing this first, mounting these to the bumper, and then putting the bumper on. So live and learn. One of the problems with this design of the bumper here is that it doesn't really accommodate to be able to mount this, the trailer electric connection. So I'm not really sure. I've got to kind of gonna have to put a spacer in there or something so that I can get to mount correctly, but it's one of the other problems here. The real problem is that I should have done this first, so this is really a little on the annoying side. All right, so this is the LED light that's going in the mount, and pretty straightforward. Mounts into that bracket that I just put in. The LED light is now mounted inside the channel of the rear bumper. Alright, I got one more little customization thing that's going to happen here. The license plate, I don't know if you can see behind me here, but the license plate used to be on the old bumper down here, and there's no accommodation for that. So Smittybilt makes a custom mounted frame here, as you can see, and this actually mounts, or is supposed to mount. It's got a light underneath here to light up the plate, and then it's got a custom mount here. This, however, is made to mount on the middle of the spare tire. Now the problem with that, with JL here, is that there's a camera in the middle of the rear spare tire for the backup, and I don't want to get rid of that. So I'm taking this piece and bring the camera over here. I'm going to attempt to modify it and mount it sort of here underneath. You can see that a little bit underneath the light. I'm going to cut this tab right here. I'm going to cut this tab off, and I'm going to get a spacer and a screw that's longer to go into right here. So the theory is that that's going to mount out of the way of everything. So we'll see, obviously, if that is going to work or not. But first things first, I'm going to saw this off. Okay, a little sparks there, and saw the end off. There is my custom license plate mount. I get around the other side here, but basically I took the pieces that were for the tire mount and I cut them down a little bit and bolted them to the top of the bumper here, and it's actually pretty steady, so I think that's going to work. My last order of business now is to wire, that's what I'm about to do now, the license plate light. So, and the lights work there, so the wiring is good. Looks like the LED works pretty nice, and the bumper is on. Alright, so I took the truck out of the garage so that you could see the new bumper installed in a little bit better light. This is the Smittybilt SRC rear bumper, and it was actually fairly straightforward going on. Like I said before, it had a total of 8 bolts that hold it on. Really the hardest part actually was getting the plastic factory original Jeep bumper off of the vehicle. But as you can see, this replaced both the plastic bumper and the hitch assembly below. As a comparison to see what the old plastic bumper was like, you can see I can lift this. I mean, it's, I don't know how many pounds this is, maybe 10 pounds, 15 pounds. It's sort of, I don't want to say it's a cheesy part, but it's certainly not going to hold up to any kind of bumps or bangs on a trail, off-road with rocks or anything. So that's what the old bumper looks like. And the new one weighs probably about, I wouldn't say it's probably 100 pounds, so I mean, it is a little bit of weight increase on the rear of the vehicle. So really all I need to do now is put the rear tire mount back on. That sustained a little bit of damage. It's sort of like a plastic cone that comes out, and when it had a little bit of impact, it tilted, and it's not really broken, but it's bent enough so when you put the tire on right now, it's sort of cocked at an angle. So I'm waiting for that part to come in, and that'll complete the fixing of the rear. The license plate mount came out really fantastic, actually, considering that I just used it out of sort of a parts bin of stuff that was sent to me, not meant to go there. It was actually meant to mount up here on the tire. I have some rear backup sensors. That's one of the downsides of this particular Jeep model that I bought. I did not get the rear park sensor, the beeping monitor things, and that may be why I got into my little fender bender where I backed into something. So those actually come pre-drilled out in this Smittybilt bumper, so hopefully that's going to be that'll be my next little assembly, and I will shoot some video of that. So until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. If you like what we're doing, be sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the truck and tree symbol to your right. Once again, thanks and hope to see you soon.